Anyway, welcome to the Dynamix podcast. It's episode 5. Before we get into it, I'm going to shout out some black businesses. So we've got KAMFilm. It's a production company. You can hit them up on Instagram. Why are you guys staring at me like that?
Do you think it? Do you think?
SlimCasso, graphic designer. We've got PieRadio, radio station, SNKSBYIB. And limited edition trainers. For YouTubers, we've got Fidelis, Olaniran, NiFii's network, MikxzTV. Clothing, we've got Triple B. Custom trainers, Guapo. Music producers, we've got SamAyeni, Bruskii, Hakkz, Kemoy B. He does various things, youth work. He does a lot, man. I can't keep up with that one. Artist management, we've got Adex, photography. We've got Bijuaru, modelling, Mamo, and for the best scran in Manchester right now, it's ColeEatsUK. So I'll be leaving the links to them.
Treat box as well.
Oh, your treat box. Sorry, fucking hell. Yeah, but it's very diverse, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
very diverse.
But still,
you know what? We'll shout out because bros in it. Treat box as well for the best sweets in Manchester right now. All the sweets you want. I'll be leaving their links in the description.
Can I drop a couple as well?
Just one in it. One.
Should ruin my flow, man. What are they doing?
So it's my friend that she's tying her hair like a natural hair cream company kind of thing. It's called Home Curls on Instagram.
Home Curls. Cool.
Oh. I helped with the name, by the way. So.
Send me a link to that as well so I can put it in the description.
I will.
Obviously, we'll shout yours out, but you're hearing it, so you can talk about it in a sec.
Oh gosh, okay, cool.
Have you got any just about what on it?
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and that'll be that.
Well, saying that, it's actually an advantage being a minority because...
Yeah,
in a way.
Because in a way, you're taking the diversity and equality check. Yeah. If they say how much BAME people do you have?
See, looking at that way is that's a good way to look at it.
Where's the camera?
I've actually been seeking to meet that quote.
Yeah, absolutely. That word BAME, like everything that includes BAME. Cherie, can you? I was like,
Do you not like being referred to as BAME?
No, I don't.
Babe.
BAME.
BAME.
Is it Black, Asian, and minority?
It's black and minority ethnic.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What about people of colour? You don't like that one either?
People of colour. What's that?
People of colour is people who are not white, but then you kind of put everybody in
exactly,
one pool when everybody doesn't face the same discrimination.
And it's like, so what the only good is, do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, that song is like,
I hate
don't people of colour me, don't BAME me, just
right?
Black.
Or just say my name.
Literally, yeah.
Have you encountered like those situations where, because you're the only black person there, and there's something black related, and they want you to do it? Like let's say like with the whole Black Lives Matter thing that's going on, they want you to speak on it because you're black. You know what I mean? I refused, yo.
Really?
I told another guy to do it, and he did it.
In my workplace, basically.
Nah, it's because they weren't obviously specifically saying, Louis, can you do it? They were like, we would really like if someone could speak on this.
Yeah.
And no one wanted to speak up because people like to say, I don't feel it's my place to say anything. But you're a human being, you can talk about whatever you want.
Exactly.
So I used that to say nah, which I didn't specifically say nah, I just kept quiet and I was like, I'm not doing it.
My issue was...
Then another white guy wanted to do it. And I was like, yeah, he asked me if he should do it. I'm like, bro, say it. We need a different perspective on this. Yeah. So he went for it.
When your face puffed out.
No, don't be doing that. Don't be doing it.
I'm going to be zooming into people as well.
No, you won't.
Interactions and stuff. No, I'm joking.
Really? Oh.
Right, all recording, everything's good. That's recording as well, yeah?
Yeah. It's
sweet. Right,
all right, cool.
Thank you.
Welcome. Wow. Ruining my intro.
Sorry.
I shouldn't even eat the sweet because I'm just going to be chowing y'all. What's your reactions to everything going on?
Oof.
Okay.
So much to say.
What I want to say is, first I didn't want to speak on it because a lot of people were very sensitive and rightfully so. Everyone has the right to feel the way they feel. You know what I mean? Every feeling is valid. We shouldn't like go against people for feeling the way they do in it. But I just felt like some reactions that the way people were reacting was not good. Like,
but what's your reaction to everything going on? Like, how do you... how are you seeing it? Like with Yemen, people are talking about sexual abuse more, the protests, just everything. Like, I want to talk about how you feel about it first before we get into like other people and stuff.
How I feel is it's good what's been happening, the exposure and all of it as collectively, even what Rashford was doing, that was really good. And what I feel is that needs to carry on, and it shouldn't just be a thing where we do it during like a period where something really bad happens. You know what I mean? It should be something that's continuous. Like if you look back in the day, like Martin Luther King and those guys, they would protest, do all those things for days, like 365 days. They'll be out there walking miles and miles, doing all that stuff. But some people, they're just posting once, like just now, then a few months later, then they forget about it. So the people in power are like, we're just waiting till this dies down, till these people forget about everything and go back to the club and start partying and forget about it. So the thing is, we need to keep it up.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just post once because it's a trend, everyone's doing it. No, this should be something that you're doing like regularly, in a smart way as well. Because a lot of people are just going out there acting crazy.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
What's your reaction, Akosua?
I agree with Louis. I think it's good. Like, I'm really proud of everyone, you know, going out there, posting, doing, you know. But what I think is we're not approaching the situation properly, kind of, you know, because you have people protesting, you get looters and you get rioters and you get, you know, I don't even know if that's that word, rioters. My English.
Girl.
You know, and you get people like stealing and breaking shops and all that, and I think that's not the right way to go about it, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I understand that people who are going out there to protest are people who are coming from all different walks of life, people who has been affected differently, you know, to this situation. So I understand that, but at the same time, I feel like there should be like a more effective way of you know, approaching that instead of violence, because that's not gonna get us anywhere.
Yeah. What's your reaction, Cherie?
For myself, I definitely agree with the two as well, in terms of that it's good that we're getting exposure, it's good that we're talking about it, and I think especially with Black Lives Matter, when we did go for the march a couple of years ago, a lot of people didn't know what it was about, whereas now every single person didn't know what it's about, because you know what I mean. So in a way, we are doing something for everybody else to know, but I still think there's a lot more work to be done, because I don't want it to just be a trend and then we just move on to whatever it is, because that's what we tend to do, especially on social media, and especially now that Corona, everyone's indoors, online, and it's like, don't let this just go by, because, you know, we're still dealing with the same situation as we were 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and still happening today. And obviously with like the gun violence, it may not be happening here, but it doesn't mean that the police are any different, because we do see it with like our Black brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? So yeah. Yeah,
100%. For me, I didn't want to talk about it too soon. Like Louis was like, we need to talk about this, but like at the time for me it was just way too soon.
Yeah.
Like, I was so sensitive, and I could have just said anything if I would have recorded it then. So I definitely feel what you guys are saying. But have you guys had any experiences with racism? If all of you say yes, then it clearly shows there's a problem, right?
Of course.
Can I go first?
Go ahead, girl.
Because today, on my way here, I was actually mentioning to the guys before. I got to the bus stop, and then there was these two old white ladies speaking, and then as soon as I got to the bus stop, they were like, "I'm sick of this Black Lives Matter, all lives matter," clearly because I was there. Do you know what I'm saying? But that was just
that's right now as well.
Yeah,
that's today.
Today, like, today. It was today on my way
we're
here.
recording the same day
exactly.
That's happened.
But like apart from that, I've suffered plenty.
What's the worst one you'd say?
The worst, I think the worst was like when I was younger, I think.
Was it here or in Brazil?
In Brazil, it was so bad, because it's like, it was not only my skin color, it was my lips, it was my hair, it was my name, it was the fact that I'm half African. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't think Brazil is a racist country, but really heavily.
They say that there's like, I heard of something about like there's people that live in South America and they have black features, like they have curly hair, but they don't identify themselves as black because they really don't want to be identified as black. Is that real?
Oh, that's very real.
That's insane.
One thing that I'm gonna say to you guys is shocking, but just as this like once slavery was abolished, even during slavery, because we had a lot of like brainwashing. There used to be a thing where families, especially mothers, would be like, "Oh, you need to get with a white man so that you can like water down the, you know, clear the, what did they used to say in Portuguese? They say clear the skin, clear the
blackness.
Like the blackness, basically.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to translate it.
Basically saying
exactly.
you're dirty, you know.
Yeah, and then it's like it's being like that. So that's why in Brazil, everyone is mixed race. Everyone is light skin. Yes, because that slave mentality is being till today. My sister, for example, she's like lighter than me, and she's like, you need to. She has that mentality too. You need to get with a white man because you're already black yourself. So why would you want to? Do you know what I'm saying? You need to have lighter kids. So that mentality is so sad. It's so sad to hear that. You know.
Yeah.
What about your experience, Cherie?
Oh,
Like the worst one you've experienced?
I can't really think too much, but I think it's back in high school as well. And I think it's when the subject of like, you know, Black History Month came up and we're watching Roots, and I think we're like year 8 or something, and I think after my year they stopped doing that.
Really?
Yeah, so
we watched
because
Roots as well.
yeah, I was the only black girl in my class, but there was I think about 3-4 black boys and everybody else was white. And as we're watching Roots, of course, everyone's like, "Oh, Cherie, look, you look like fan of the character," because I was the only black girl in the class, and I'm just like, "Come on, guys, like, what the hell?"
Yeah.
But me at that time, obviously, I didn't really clock on to how
Deep it was.
rude that is and how deep that is.
You know,
As when looking at the spectacle now, I'm just like, wow. I know, even just like stuff like, I don't know, I feel like growing up as a black girl and a dark skinned girl, you have a lot of things to go through basically. And when you go into high school as well, that's really amplified because guys be like, "Oh, you're Blake, or you're this, or you're that, or your hair's
Drop
this,
lip.
drop lip, or you got big nose, you got big lips," everything like that. And that really does play on your confidence. And then obviously now when you're seeing it as a trend to love black girls, everyone's like, hold on a second.
You know what? I
you don't wanna do
fully
that.
understand when black girls are like, nah, you can't come back
It's
now
because
that's crazy.
because we've had to kind of build this kind of wall because we don't want people to come again and attack us just for our looks. And now that you're trying to say that you're trying to love us, it's like, whoa. Like, it'll be the same people who were cussing you out who are trying to love you now. I'm like, and that does a lot of damage.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's probably what I've dealt with, but I can't think too tough. I think some things were microaggressions more than anything.
Okay.
But
I've had
yeah.
that couple. What about you?
Nah, I can't think of any.
Really?
White people have been good to me, yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah, I can name a lot of like teachers that
I don't know why.
But I guess the only things I would say is like maybe like someone being angry and saying something, but I can't really recall a specific incident when they actually said something.
Okay.
But it's like
I've got examples for days, boy.
Damn.
So I
say
remember,
the worst one, man.
I'll say the worst one was I must have been like 8 years old, and this is when I used to live back in Portsmouth, right? This was purely white, this place, bro. As in, like, in my high school, I think there was like 2 other black people I can remember, like 1 mixed race girl.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then I was walking home, right, and there's this grown white guy, bro. Like, this guy he must have been like 35 or something. He sat on the bench. He sees me and my little brother walking. And the guy's got this screw face on me. The guy's like, "Nigger." And then I go home, and then I just saw like bare black people walking towards his direction. And in my head, I just remember thinking, I hope he said it to one of these guys so they can just box him one time. You know what I mean? And then like in recent times, like I was at work once time and I was working with this guy. Like we have good conversations, right? And then the guy's like, "I'm not racist, I'm prejudiced." But like,
What?
do you know how dumb that is? Because prejudice is a form of racism, right? And then I remember another time, I don't know why it's at work, right? Yeah. But I remember there was this old white guy, right? This guy was talking about how he's a millionaire. Whether it's true or not, doesn't even matter. Because I wanted him to give me some information about how to get rich, right?
I think he's telling me about that one.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So then the guy's like, "You know what? I don't know why people get so affected by words, you know, like it's only a word, you know what I mean? Like, for example, I don't feel like the N-word is a bad word, but he actually said it, innit? Like, he actually said the word. But then it's like, are words not powerful? Like, when did words start losing power? Like, let's say, like, if someone's family member passes away, and then you say to them, "Yeah, they deserve that." Is that not heavy? Is that not going to weigh heavy on you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So clearly words do have some power.
Yes, of
You know what I
course.
mean? It's actually crazy. But do you guys like feel like we need to understand the different forms of racism? like collectively? Which ones can you think of?
I think some racism, it comes from like ignorance as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I've had so many like dumb things that white people ask me, but it's like I try my best to educate them. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being like, oh, you're stupid. I try my best to educate them and make them feel comfortable to ask me anything, but just some things, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I think that's the ignorance. Ignorance is quite.
Yeah.
one of
Because
those-
sometimes it's like, they don't know, innit?
Yeah.
They think it's okay. Like sometimes, like now I think of a funny situation, innit? Because I work with kids.
Yeah.
So I'll be in the school now. I remember one kid was like, "What did he say now?" Yeah, because he always saw me eating bananas, innit? I love it.
Oh, no,
This isn't gonna end well.
No. Oh gosh.
So
I'm glad I don't
you always see me eating bananas. I'm always eating bananas. I'm like, yeah, bananas are good for you, and I'll be talking about the bananas in there and all that. So it's now something that's like he sees me doing every day, and I'm so happy to eat this banana. So the guy started calling me banana man.
At least not monkey, but
Yeah.
So now he sees me in the playground, innit, and he's bare happy. He's like, yeah, it's banana man, it's banana man. So in my head I'm thinking, okay, he's innocently saying it, but it's just what he wants to say, innit? Because I've been eating bananas. But then I was deep in it, I was like, nah, this ain't right. He can't be saying that. If he says that to the wrong person, then no telling what they might do to the kid, you know what I mean? Whereas I understand that he's just an innocent kid, just
To him, it's
saying,
just like,
you know what I mean?
Eat bananas all the
Yeah,
time.
exactly, yeah. So I had to tell him, I was like, nope, don't say that again, with a serious face. And he was like, okay. Which he didn't even understand why
Yeah.
I'm saying don't say it again.
Yeah.
And explaining that will be a whole process that I'm like, you know what I mean? So I was like, just don't say that again. And he was like, okay. Then that was it.
I think like there needs to be an understanding that racism doesn't just come in violence, because I feel like some of the reasons why, especially in Britain, why they think no, we're not a racist country is because it's not in the media that they like perpetrate on black people, or even though they do, but they don't see it for whatever reason. Do you know what I mean? Like racism comes in systematic forms, microaggressions, invalidations, gaslighting. It comes in so many forms. And I feel like that's what we kind of need to educate them on.
Even like your name. Oh, can I call you this for short? No, but because I don't call you something else for short. Like, say my full name, or if they mispronounce it and I correct you, and then they feel a bit like, oh, you're a bit sassy. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm just correcting you because you say my name wrong. If it was the other way around, you would correct me. And I wouldn't say, oh, you're acting sassy. So I'm literally, every now and then when people say my name, I was like, no, it's Cherie. Say it properly. And then that's it. Because then at least I corrected you. Now you know how to say my name. There's no reason for you to say it wrong. Or can I just call you this for short? No, you can't.
It's not even a hard name to
It's really 6 letters. It really is. I get Cherie. I'm like, no, it's Cherie. Listen, I get it all.
What?
Even my surname, I'm just like, guys, it's not that long, and it's literally
It's not difficult.
The way you spell it is the way you pronounce it. So for me, it's like, why?
If you can pronounce Irish names, if you
You
can
know?
pronounce Russian names, if you can pronounce French names, you can make the same effort.
My
to
name
pronounce
is French as well, so that should not be hard for people to pronounce. But here we go again.
You know what's bad though? It's the fact that a lot of times, like, white people will say your name wrong, then black people start running with it. So do you know there's a lot of black people that say their name the way white people would say their name?
Yeah.
I do that.
And it happens. Even sometimes it ends up being unconscious, where you just like, okay, they're calling me this, or this is how I'm gonna introduce myself to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which my mom always says, we should always stick to
How you
how
pronounce
you
it.
pronounce your name. And if someone pronounces it wrong, don't start going by what they're saying now. Take it back to correcting them that this is how you.
I take a different approach. Like my African name, even I struggle to pronounce it sometimes. You feel me? So like, if you see my name, and they're like, "What's your name?" I just say to them, "William." You know what I mean? And they're like, "Oh, can you tell me how to pronounce that?" I'm just like, "Nah," because I'm not about to be here for 2 minutes having a conversation with you, being like, "No, this is how you say it." I'm not doing that. I do not owe you that time.
What
to
is
say
your
it.
second name or just your
First name?
just William?
That's not my first name.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So I don't. That's my middle. That's my second name.
Oh, okay.
I've got a third name as well. But yeah,
bare names.
Yeah, but you don't use those names.
I've got
also.
4 as well, yeah.
So you don't use those names, or do you mean like
no, because like if
it'll
I'm
be
at work,
identification?
if I'm at work, right, yeah, they'll be like this person, and then like because it's a work setting, it's gonna call my.
It says your full name. Oh, okay.
But I actually, you know what? There's this one time where I made sure that these men understand that I'm not fucking about, bro. Like I was working right, yeah, and like they're shouting everyone's name in it because it's one of them settings.
Yeah.
And he shouts my name, and everyone starts laughing. So I say, so I said, yo, that's not how you say my name. And then the guy's like, oh, that's how it looks like it's pronounced to me. I was like, nah, you're not about to do that. And everyone, like all the white people looking back at me like.
They get like that. Oh my.
I'm like this. Like I'm not afraid to be the aggressive black man if I feel like I'm standing up for myself.
Yeah, you have to be
You have
assertive.
to,
Yeah.
you have to.
I'm not, bro.
Yeah.
See, I have the same problem because my name, my name is from Ghana.
Yeah.
But I was raised in Brazil, and then I came here. So that means my name is pronounced in 3 different ways, and even I don't know how to pronounce it because I don't speak the language. Do you get the point?
I got you.
So I pronounce my name wrong either way. So it's like.
But I mean, whatever feels fitting for you.
Yeah.
Do you think?
And yeah, I think what you think, like the way you're gonna say it and
Yeah.
the way you want it to be pronounced is how everybody else should pronounce it.
Yeah.
Because if you're feeling like, oh, it can be said in 3 different ways, then that's confusing for everybody.
Yeah.
But for yourself, if it's like, right, this is the way I want my name to be pronounced and this is how everybody has to pronounce it, then
Yeah.
that should be that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
True.
End of story.
Come on.
Girl, like that.
Girl, come on, I got you.
Yeah. Like I feel like however you want to be addressed is just how they should address you.
Yeah.
And there's no other conversation to that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
If I don't want to tell you how
It's
to
your
pronounce my
name.
name.
Only my close people can call me by nicknames. And if I like you, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but-
what about like obviously I don't want to say race is like how can I say it, like you know how people change their sexes and stuff and they start now wanting to be referred to as Billy even though their name was Melissa.
Yeah.
So
Where are you going with this?
Huh?
If they want to be called Billy, you call them Billy.
but some people have a problem with that as well.
Yeah, that's
where
an
they
issue.
still keep calling them, you know what I mean?
That's definitely
like the
an issue.
him or her thing. Now they want to be called her. You know what I mean?
That's a conversation for another day.
That's
Like,
a
you know,
that's a
that's a
whole.
very big conversation. Anyway, what are your thoughts on All Lives Matter?
All lives matter. Oh, all lives matter. So,
Girl.
for a second, I thought you said Black Lives Matter because I was watching this video. No, I was watching this video, and this white girl was explaining. There was 2 houses. One was on fire and the other one wasn't. And then the girl was like, "Oh, let's help this house." And then the person with the house that wasn't on fire was like, "What about my house? All houses matter." And then the other person was like, "Yeah, but this one is on fire though. Your house is not on fire, so we're focusing on that. I'm not saying, that your house doesn't matter, but this one is on fire, so we gotta help this one." And I feel like that's the same with Black Lives Matter. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because ask a white person, would you be okay being treated as black people are in this world? They'll be quiet. They won't reply to you. I swear down. I've been wanting to ask a white person that. Because I don't have any white friends. But like I've been wanting to ask a white person that. Just to see what they're gonna say.
I don't think we should even have to give that example for you to
Exactly.
understand.
No.
Like, does it not make sense?
Some
it not
people
make
it just
sense?
doesn't. Literally,
And like-
ignorance is.
It's like even protesting in the middle of a pandemic. That should tell you enough that
How-
although
exactly.
people are still dying from this whole coronavirus,
Yeah.
people are going out to protest against with injustice because of what's going on, and that should already raise alarm bells. Like, whoa,
Different countries are protesting.
you know what I
So
mean?
then-
It's not even just
Everyone.
the UK or the US.
Yeah.
Everywhere else is, and everyone's facing the same coronavirus.
Yeah.
And if people are obviously risking their lives, even if those are high at risk and have high risk family members and stuff like that, they're still going out and coming back. It's because for them, it's like, no, I have to go out there and fight. I have to go out there and fight for a right. And if you're going to keep saying all lives matter, of course all lives matter. But at the moment in time, Black lives don't matter. So it can't be all lives matter then, can it?
Yeah.
If one doesn't really, if you're not really paying attention to the one that really needs your help. So I don't know. It's a difficult one, isn't it?
I've got a question. Is there a wrong or right way to protest? Do you think?
Yes.
Wait, you asked 2 questions. All lives matter.
No, I just had asked for your thoughts.
Oh, okay. I wanted to shed some light on that.
Go on.
I think obviously Black Lives Matter and All Lives Matter, as you said, you agreed on that as well. But it's like we need to work together. Like I feel like this whole thing is like it's created a division between black and white. But the only way to fix this is to work together. So we can't have like strong black people saying Black Lives Matter, and some white people saying White Lives Matter or All Lives Matter, blah blah blah. We need to work together, recognize the problem, and go about fixing that.
Yeah.
And with the protest thing, it's like,
wrong or right way.
Yeah, I feel like I guess you're entitled to protest however you want in it. But as long as you're not causing damage to society and, like you said, in it, the looting, rioting, vandalism, like that doesn't help. Like some of the people that are going there, they're not actually going there to protest properly, bro. You're going there to get trainers, bro. I seen one video of this guy jumping out the Nike store in a window, holding trainers, smiling, bro. Like, clearly my man didn't go there for the movement, innit? So I feel like...
It was like an opportunistic thing.
Yeah, exactly. But let's say those black people that are there to protest properly, instead of you going out there, holding up cardboard boxes, say chanting out or whatever, which works because the government will be like, yo, it's getting mad out here. And they will make changes sooner or later, you know what I mean? If you make enough noise, especially with social media and all that. But it's also about thinking about long term, like, what are you doing on a daily basis to further the cause in it, you know what I mean? So, like, you know how they say, like, you change the world by changing yourself. So that's what we need to do, educate yourself. So instead of you going out there, go yard, start reading up on politics and all these things. So now you get educated, put yourself in those powerful positions, you know what I mean? So you can actually make change. And a lot of people, it's just, they're being hypocritical where it's like, they're saying like, the police are killing us, this. But you're killing your own people as well.
See, I'm not on that one. That one I'm not on because the thing is, people kill whoever's in the closest proximity to them when it comes to things like that. So yes, black people are killing people, but in Glasgow, there's no black people there. No one's saying, white on white crime. Liverpool, there was a white guy, in Liverpool that shot some young kid, bro, with a shotgun by accident. That was never labelled white on white crime. That was labelled an accident. So when people are like, you're killing your own, it's definitely an issue that needs to be sorted. Yeah, definitely. But killing your own is something that people do in all sorts of walks of life. It's not just a black thing, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think it's dangerous to like, be like, but you're a hypocrite. There's hypocrites in all races. Yeah. All races.
It's just because everything that black people do that's wrong is amplified like 10 times more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's dehumanization of black people, innit?
But I think the thing with racism, I don't lose hope in a lot of things, but with ending racism is something that I find it really, really hard because it's a systematic, it's a global government.
I don't know what you're saying. It's the English. Girl, you find the English.
What you're saying is it's embedded in the system.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
across the world, though.
Yeah.
Across the world.
That's why I was saying that we need to be smart, educate ourselves to get in those positions, bro.
Because let me give you an example. It's like playing Monopoly, right? And then you play Monopoly 50 times, like a 50 times around. And this 50 times around, you don't let me play. You know what I'm saying? You only let me play after like 50 rounds where you already have your houses and your money and all of that. And then you let me play, but with nothing. And then everything I build, I've got to build for you.